It's a big week. There's a lot that people are thinking about and talking about. I think most of it revolves around the fact that we begin reading Lech, the Torah portion that starts to really deal with the story of Avram and the story of the Israelites, the main focus of the Torah. That's what we begin doing this week, and that's what's on people's minds, right? Anyway, why we read it? Why do we read this year after year? Partly because it begins that Avram is told to get up, to leave his birthplace, his homeland, his parents' house, and to go somewhere else. Part of that is the sense that from the beginning, Abraham, who by tradition is the first Jew, that Abraham feels by nature out of place. And that is part of the essential Jewish experience. For much of Jewish history, not for all of it, but for much of it, from the time of Avraham, he's the Ivri. He's the one who's from the Hebrew, from over there, from somewhere else. And that he doesn't always feel that he quite fits in. This has been true for many Jews throughout history. And it may still be true for many Jews today. Meaning, part of what it means to be descended from Avram Ha'ivri, Abraham the Hebrew, is to understand that sometimes you find yourself in situations where you feel like the outlier. You're countercultural. That's part of what Judaism is. That's part of why we have different holidays than everyone else. That's part of why we have a different diet than everyone else, so that you can sit down and say, oh, I don't have that. I have different obligations. This is something that is generally true. It's true today. It's something worth feeling. When Avram goes on that journey, he gets the land that God has promised that Avram's ancestors will inherit, and he leaves it right away. He goes somewhere else. Why? It's not what he expected. There's a famine going on, and he's not comfortable there. This sort of sense of not always feeling at home in place, even the place where you think that God promised you'd be at home, is part of the Jewish experience, and we should know that we're always on a journey. That's okay. And to remember that our sacred calling, from the first sacred calling in the Torah, is to try and bring tzedek and mishpat, to bring justice and law and bracha, blessing into the world, to kol mishpachot adama, to all the families of the world. Shabbat shalom.